What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Casual Sunday Pokemon Go video. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit more than the normal Casual Sunday topics, so we are going to be talking about the most recent balance update to a bunch of moves in Pokemon, so let's get right into it. The reason this isn't going to be a normal Casual Sunday video is, as you can see, I only have a couple Pokemon that are not the normal Weedle and Pidgeys to evolve at this point, so they're going to be kind of cool and everything. We're going to go ahead and evolve this Machop right now, which I think is going to end up pretty good. But there isn't a whole lot past that, so I did want to sort of make this a longer video, talk about the update a little bit, so we can sort of talk about that in the discussion, the comments, and all that. So it'll be fun. Machoke looks really, really powerful, very happy about that. I think that it scales pretty well, so we're thinking probably like 12 to 1300 maybe right now. No, we're sitting at 979, so that's actually still not too bad because Machamp, I'm pretty sure, has decent scaling as well. So we're probably going to sit at right around 1500 if we evolve Machoke sometime soon, which I really doubt is going to happen considering I've only seen a few Machops at this point in time. Moving on, we have the False Prophet. We're going to go ahead and evolve False Prophet and see what we get. I tried doing the naming thing, did not work, so we're not even going to bother anymore. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a Flareon though with my prior experience. No, Vaporeon. Fantastic, fantastic. So not the real False Prophet here, because obviously we all know the False Prophet was a Flareon, but that's actually pretty decent. Water Gun and Hydro Pump, not too bad. 1554, making it, I believe, my strongest Pokemon at this point in time. Very cool, guys. Pretty hyped about that. Very strong Pokemon. Still gonna keep that name, though, because it came out of a 10K egg, and I am really, really not okay with that, so you know, it's fine for right now, though. Definitely very powerful in its own right. Alright, so moving on, we have the move changes that went in the most recent balance patch that Pokemon Go had. Obviously, this was a server-side update, not an actual update to the app. This was pushed onto the servers and instantly made those changes without anyone having to update anything. So there are a few things to talk about. Again, this was brought to us by the Sylph Road. Those guys are fantastic. Go check out the subreddit if you haven't already. It is a really, really great community, and these infographics are just fantastic to talk about in videos, so mad props to those guys. But basically, we are just going to go over this Pokemon by Pokemon. So first off, you have Jigglypuff. I don't really think that that's too important to talk about. We have our Diglett, not important to talk about. We have Dugtrio. Now, Dugtrio's a little bit better than it was. It had a 0.3 increase in its damage per second. Mudshot changed to Mudslap. So that's a definite beneficial change, and overall, objectively, it is now better. So Graveler and Golem also had Mudshot changed over to Mudslap. As long as the passive abilities attached to those moves are the same, it is a definite objective increase in power. Obviously, it's not that big of a deal, but it is pretty okay, and I do think that despite not actually making any competitive difference, it is going to influence the power rankings just a little bit, possibly. We will be talking about the relative power rankings in a future video. Obviously, I haven't been talking about them lately because moves have been changed around constantly. The powers that the moves have been changed around as well. So the last video I made on it was quite a while ago. We will talk about that in the near future, though. So we have Grimer and Muck right now. Grimer was actually increased in power, which is totally irrelevant, but Muck was decreased in power, which is actually pretty confusing in my opinion. I do think that it'd probably be better if it was replaced with another poison type move. It was replaced with Lick, which means really that is just going to be more irrelevant than it already was, which is a little confusing for me. We have one of my favorite Pokemon in first gen. Gengar was buffed. Now instead of Sludge Wave has Sludge Bomb, which is just a little bit more powerful. Very, very excited about that. 0.7 increase in DPS, so definitely not too relevant, but it is good to see an increase in power go in, and overall, it's probably not going to change much, but maybe a power ranking. We have Hitmonlee change Stump to Brick Break. While the best charge move was not actually affected, I do think this is overall a very, very positive change, considering that it is so much more powerful, but also, if you consider the implications it'll have on the so-called metagame of Pokemon Go, one of the most popular defenders you'll find is Snorlax. Now, having a plus 9.1 DPS is relevant in that of itself, but having a more powerful move that's going to be super effective on one of the most powerful defenders in the game is very, very relevant despite not having a very high max CP. Hitmonlee is definitely going to be more relevant as an attacker against Snorlax, so definitely have to give them props on that. It is a very, very good change in my opinion. Chansey had its move Psybeam changed over to Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam is objectively one of the best moves in the game, so I do think this is a fantastic change, although the actual defense of Chansey is still completely abysmal. Its HP is okay, but not even the best, so it's definitely not a very good defender still, but it is a little bit better than where it was. So if it is like your favorite Pokemon, for example, you'll be a little bit better off with it. Seal was nerfed for reasons unknown. I have no idea why. Porygon was increased in power a little bit by 2 DPS. I do think that that's alright, although it definitely isn't super relevant overall. I don't think it's going to make it a more powerful attacker or defender because honestly it's not in a place where it was even close to that. So I think it's a good step in the right direction, but probably not what it needed to push it into being relevant. That said, I will say that Porygon 2 and Porygon Z are most definitely going to push it in that direction, and in the future when those evolutions do come out, it most likely will be very, very relevant, attacking and defending. Next we have Gyarados, which is the most puzzling of all of them and the most relevant of all of them. Dragon Breath was completely removed as a possible move, so I do think that Dragon Breath Gyarados will be extremely valuable and sought after into the future. I can't imagine that there are that many of them in existence at this point in time. I know a lot of you guys watching this video probably have them, but considering the install base of Pokemon Go is over 80 million at this point, I do not think that there are going to be that many of them compared to the overall player base, which means that as time goes on, there are going to be Gyaradoses with Dragon Breath that are lost to time, like any game like this, and overall, if this doesn't actually get replaced with a better dragon move or a dragon move at all, I do think this is going to be very, very relevant. Starmie was increased in power a little bit, which is pretty nice to see, although it's still, again, not very relevant, so take that how you will. And then the final one that sort of struck me as a little bit odd was Mew. Mew had a 0.6 damage per second increase, but it isn't even out yet, so that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, why would they make balance changes to a Pokemon that doesn't even exist in the game at this point in time, right? And guys, that is going to be about it for this one. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you back here for a brand new Pokemon video very, very shortly. I'm going to be getting the camera super, super soon. I have my batteries right here. They just came in today. We just need the camera now, and I'm going to be set and ready to go. Hope you guys are as hyped as I am, and until the next one, peace.